Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to OTS News. My name is Bean Mark E.T. Pile Driving Geeks. Since 1973, the biggest mark in the IWC. Tonight on NXT, not much to be excited about, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, coming out of Monday Night Raw, do you really want to subject yourself to another night of WWE television? That show was so fucking bad, I want to remove pro wrestling from my vocabulary. On tonight's show, ladies and gentlemen, we have KUSHIDA defending the Cruiserweight Championship in an open challenge like we've never seen one of those before. Give me a break, man. This is NXT Creative. I thought NXT was the cool brand. I guess not. And we got the debut of another Joshi, ladies and gentlemen. What is her name, Dana? Stingray? Stingray? Is she a part of Steve Irwin's camp? Oh, Sarai! Is that her name, Sarray? Sarai? Who gives a shit? Another Joshi on NXT. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, her ceiling is so low already that it's as low as Dana Brooks in ring ability and IQ, man. If you guys played as Dana Brooke on WWE 2K20, her overall score was a -1. I don't know how much lower you can get if you are Sarray. Sources say that Bruce Pritchard and Vince McMahon are already licking their chops for potential future burial. I would not be surprised. Also, Dexter Lumis looks like he should be part of the fucking Addams family. You remember the Addams family, Dana, right? No. You don't remember the Addams family? They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They're all together oogie, the Addams family. You don't remember the Addams family? Oh my God, what am I doing with you here? Please, I asked you to go to be a fucking plate of food, but there's fucking construction everywhere, man. Ugh. Unreal, man. He goes up against L.A. Knight. Remember that porn star I showed you the other day, Dana? He had a similar name like L.A. Knight. You know, now that I think about it, L.A. Knight looks like a great wingman. Maybe I could get him to get me in with Tony. I hear she's quite the keeper. Not her. That's what I'm hearing, man. I hired her for a secretary. She won't even look at me anymore. Maybe I made one too many cool jokes, but maybe L.A. Knight can help me. I'm going with L.A. Knight over Dexter Lumis tonight on NXT. I'd give you the drink and food special, ladies and gentlemen, but the construction is all over the place. It was in the kitchen last night, now it's filtering into the bar. The bartender's got no work tonight, they're not making any money. I hear that they're upset. Who knows? The venue should be completed relatively soon. So we're gonna get right into the action. This is your NXT post show with your host, JT from New York. The house is a museum where people come to see you. They really are a screaming, the Addams family.
It's Tuesday night, and we got another goddamn Joshi on this show. We are live, man! How many geeks are gonna be in my DMs tonight because of... the fuck was her name? Stingray? Sarai. Who gives a shit? God. Sarray versus Zoey Stark. I'll give my thoughts on her debut tonight. LA Knight goes one-on-one with Dexter Lumis, who's not a part of the Addams family, by the way, folks. Kyle O'Reilly is back, and I gotta be honest with you, man. I'm not liking babyface Kyle O'Reilly. And Karrion Kross wants to retire John Cena. I like the sound of that, man. I think that's a big deal. We'll talk about that as well. And what the hell does MSK stand for, man? If you want to know why we haven't found that out yet, I got the answer for you right here. This is the NXT post show on Off the Script. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me on this lovely Tuesday evening. It is April 20th, 4/20, 2021. I am your host, JD, from New York, and this is your NXT post show on a Tuesday night. How many of you guys pretended you were bro today? How many of you guys pretended you were RVD today? I did. I stay away from the shit, man. But if you guys enjoyed a little extracurricular activities today, God bless you. God bless you. After Monday Night Raw, I think we all need it. Anyway, NXT tonight, man. I'm not all that thrilled. I'm not all that thrilled at all. I'm not too excited about wrestling on Tuesday night. Nothing really happened tonight that I really want to talk about, but I have to be here because it's my obligation to you guys. I promised NXT reviews, and thus I have to deliver NXT reviews. Not much happened tonight. Kyle O'Reilly returned. A lot of Adam Cole references tonight. We did not see Adam Cole Bay on the show. Kyle O'Reilly is back. Not feeling it, man. I'm not feeling Kyle O'Reilly as a babyface. And I honestly feel like the split of the Undisputed Era is going to not really work in favor of everybody except for Adam Cole. Maybe. Depends on where he goes. If he gets called upon by my great friend and my good old buddy Bruce, then we got a fucking problem. If he gets called by Vince McMahon, straight to catering goes Adam Cole. And he and Ricochet could reminisce over their beautiful NXT TakeOver spot, moonsault into the super kick. Yeah, I know it's coming. But Kyle O'Reilly isn't working out as a babyface. He's back on the show tonight. Cameron Grimes was his opponent in the main event tonight. Goes to show you that WWE really doesn't give a shit about ratings on Tuesday nights. They're not really all that concerned with building an audience to get people to watch NXT, which could be a good and a bad thing, but seems like there's no urgency on WWE as far as ratings are concerned on Tuesday night. We got the debut of, the fuck is her name? Stingray? Lord Stingray? Oh, Sarai. Is it Sarai? Sarray? Stevie Ray? Ray of Sunshine? Ray Charles? I don't give a fuck, man. Just another uneventful, overhyped, nothing special at all Joshi. Great. Color me fucking shocked, man. Man, oh man. Did you guys want me to come on YouTube and just fucking yank my chain, huh? Did you expect a bottle of lube next to me with a box of tissues? Did you expect me to just fucking jizz all over the computer screen talking about Stingray tonight? I mean, give me a break. I was more impressed with Zoey Stark than I was fucking Stevie Ray. What exactly are we doing here, man, with the Joshis? I mean, you gotta be fucking kidding me, man. Seriously. Unreal with you fucking geeks. I mentioned one thing about Joshis, and I got fucking Luis Vasquez 7654321123456 coming at me on fucking social media. It's unreal, man. You guys got absolutely no lives. If you put that much effort into actually going to find a girlfriend or a job, you'd be somewhere in life. You're on social media on Tuesday night arguing with me over Joshis. Oh, man. Joshi rhymes with Yoshi, and I'd rather be playing Super Mario than watching any Joshi wrestlers, man. Ugh. Ugh. God. Unreal. Unreal, man. What else happened on this show tonight? Dexter Lumis and L.A. Knight. My boy, L.A. Knight, bro. What's going on with L.A. Knight? Sounds like a fucking porn star. Sounds like a goddamn nightclub. I don't know, man. Dexter Lumis. I don't know what's going on with Indy Hartwell. I really don't. I want to like it. Believe me, I want to like it. I really do, but I can't. I can't. Unless Indy goes against Johnny Bravo and helps Dexter Lumis win the North American Championship, I don't really see what the entire purpose of this storyline is. I really don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. And then Karrion Kross, we're going to talk about Karrion Kross. Him and John Cena back and forth on social media. And it was even picked up by WWE.com. And if WWE.com is talking about a Karrion Kross and John Cena match, what is the rule of the old man, or one of the old man's big no-nos? Do not promote a match that he cannot promise to the fans. Yet this made headlines on WWE.com. So there may be some fuel to this fire. We're going to talk about that as well and what I think about that. And that is pretty much what happened on NXT tonight. We'll break this show down, what happened segment by segment. Super chats are open. Get them on in, guys. Super chats are open. We'll hang out like we usually do at the end of the show. Hit the thumbs up. We got 242 likes on the stream right now. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Let's try. Gonna set the goal very small tonight because it is NXT. It's not like it's an AEW show or a Raw show or a SmackDown show. Let's set the goal at 600 likes. That's the goal for you guys right there. There's 800 people in the live stream right now, still filtering on in to the OTS venue. So if you guys can do that for me, we should definitely be at 600 likes. Follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram at JD from NY206. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. If you guys want to support the show, you could do that. Go check out all the other videos that you might have missed on the channel. Monday Night Raw, Last Night Live, another shit show by WWE. Ratings down from last week, as always, as I expected. Show was absolutely miserable. If you guys want my thoughts on that, go check that out live on the channel right now. Go get your t-shirts, bonfire.com. Make sure you go and support the podcast that way. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. Patreon is a great way to support the show. And make sure you guys go get your masks. Mouthmasker.com/OTS. And if you guys want to, definitely check out the sponsor for today's show. This is Hoolagrim approved. Hoolagrim is one of my mods in the stream every single time we're here. He approves of it. Don't know why you wouldn't. DrSquatch.com. You guys are going to use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. Soaps, shampoos, conditioners, deodorant, toothpaste, all natural, organic. Stop using the artificial shit, man. Really. He lives and dies by the grapefruit IPA soap. I like the cold brew cleanse. I mean, what more do I need to say? DrSquatch.com. Use code SCRIPT at checkout. Let's start at the top here, man. NXT. Started off with Mr. Kyle O'Reilly. He opened the show. He's back from TakeOver and his unsanctioned match with Adam Cole, baby. Kyle O'Reilly's music is fucking awful. His entrance is awful. He looks like he should be coming down the aisle as a jobber on WWF Superstars back in the 90s. I don't know who they got to re-record new theme music for everybody, but they got to get the fuck out of there just as quick as Adnan Virk on Monday Night Raw. Kyle O'Reilly's theme music is fucking god-awful. I can't stand it. It really is that bad. Kyle O'Reilly's out there, and he's back from TakeOver. He played a little air guitar, and he looked a little Orange Cassidy-ish tonight. Hipster, if you will. He grabbed the microphone. He said, "I take over." He faced the greatest challenge of his life. And he was in a great mood because he was nowhere near Adam Cole, baby. He did say, "I like it a lot. I like it a lot." And it's time to move on. It's time to move on from Adam Cole, which usually means it's not time to move on anytime soon. He said to succeed here, he has to have a killer instinct, and he found it. He said you have to be willing to go to extremes and pay the ultimate sacrifice to achieve your goals. He asked what his next challenge should be. Does he challenge for the workhorse title, the North American Championship? Or does he chase down the most dominant force NXT has ever seen? So then he started to talk directly to Karrion Kross, looking into the camera. But Cameron Grimes comes out instead. Now, before I talk about Cameron Grimes, first of all, he said, which championship should I go after? The North American Championship or the NXT Championship? Kyle, from one to another, I would say go after the North American Championship. I think you and Johnny Gargano can have barn Burners. Classics. Classics. Now, I don't want to jump ahead here, but Kyle O'Reilly and Cameron Grimes in this open, this pretty much set up the main event tonight. He went about 15 minutes with Cameron Grimes in the main event. Now, I get it. It's an episodic show. It's trying to build intrigue. But that's not what I'm thinking about. Okay? He just called Karrion Kross the most dominant force in NXT history, which I think is a little bit of a stretch. It really is. I mean, he's been there for how long? Seriously, he's been there for how long? And you already want to deem him the most dominant force in all of NXT history? Oh, I'm sorry. Walter's 750-day title reign would like to say hello to you. Just fucking stupid to me. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Karrion Kross. I love Karrion Kross. I think Karrion Kross is fucking fantastic. But he's not the most dominating force in all of NXT. Now, Kyle O'Reilly, like I said, I don't want to jump ahead. He went 15 minutes with Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes! To the moon! Cameron Grimes, right? If he went 15 minutes with Cameron Grimes and struggled here and there with Cameron Grimes, what do you think Karrion Kross is going to do to him when or if they are in the ring together? Or am I the only one that thinks that way? I don't know. Doesn't really seem like a wise choice to go after Karrion Kross. All that Kross, they're doomed to fail. That's the way it should be. Anyway, North American title, NXT title, he talked to Kross, but Cameron Grimes came out and he said he made a killing on DraftKings on Kyle O'Reilly beating Adam Cole. Says he sees Kyle as a top dog, and if he needs someone to watch his back and invest in him, they could do a lot. He said he likes this new cool Kyle, and they got a cool Kyle chant in the COVID Wrestling Center. They should market Cool Kyle, is what he said. He offered the idea of KO coins. He said the two of them could go to the moon. Him and Cameron Grimes. Kyle said to the moon with him. He said Grimes is killing it right now and he should celebrate their newfound arrangement. He said he was now cleared to compete and he just saw his first opponent. He pretended to look around. Don't worry, it's not you. We got a business partnership going on. We're business associates. It's not you. Then he put on his shades like the fucking little kid in that Adam Sandler movie, right? Who was pissing on the walls. What the fuck was the name of that movie, man? That's not Mr. Deeds. Mr. Deeds was a great movie, though. What the fuck was that movie where he adopted the little kid? Can't think of it right now, but you guys know what I'm talking about. He puts on the shades, and it makes him a little bit more comfortable around people that he doesn't really like. So he puts on the shades here, O'Reilly, and he looked at Grimes again, and he said, "Oh, wait, it is you." He knocked Grimes down with a punch, and that was it. That was it. Big Daddy. There you go. Thank you, Kingdom Kid. Big Daddy. That was a great fucking movie. That was a great movie, man. Big Daddy. Really good movie. Anyway, this was the opener of the show. We got Grimes and Kyle O'Reilly set up for the main event. Not digging Kyle O'Reilly as a babyface, man. I honestly think the Undisputed Era breaking up is going to be... It's going to be more of a negative thing than it is a bad thing. Roderick Strong has no place anywhere. Don't know what's happening with him. Not one mention of him tonight. Bobby Fish, who the fuck knows where he is? I don't know whether I don't know if he's hurt or not. I don't know. Kyle O'Reilly. Adam Cole seems to be the only one that they're building as far as going to the main roster. It's about that time. And I feel like if WWE's not going to use Adam Cole on the main roster, then why does NXT exist? Why does NXT exist if Adam Cole is still there and everybody in the company is afraid to bring him up because of the potential failure that awaits him? It's unreal. It is truly unreal. Kyle O'Reilly, he's a fantastic pro wrestler. Don't get me wrong, man. But Jesus Christ, his promos are not the promo of a top guy on NXT or in WWE. I mean, just looking at him in this opening segment, him cutting this promo, I don't know why anybody would think Kyle O'Reilly is a top guy that should be in discussion to beat Karrion Kross. Nobody should be beating Karrion Kross, but if this guy cut a little bit better of a promo, I probably would maybe lend to a nice little argument here. But the fact that his promo ability is just not up to standard, it's not. I don't see Kyle O'Reilly ever being a threat to Karrion Kross. I don't. Karrion Kross has nothing to worry about at all. That was the open of NXT. Cameron Grimes is great. You know, Cameron Grimes got this millionaire hick fucking Southern thing going on. There's a rumor that he's going to be working with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. I got news on that. But Cameron Grimes is doing his thing, man. It's entertaining. He's a fantastic pro wrestler. I don't know how much life this gimmick has. I don't know if this is main roster-esque. I think Bruce and Vince would look at this and they'd probably do the same thing with Cameron Grimes as they're doing with Matt Riddle. Not take it serious. Not take it serious at all. But Cameron Grimes is great. The gimmick grew on me. He's doing his thing. And adding the $1 Million Man to his act, I think it's only going to make him a little bit more popular. So we'll see what they got planned. I think that could really make for some entertaining segments on Tuesday nights. Sarai. Who gives a shit? She arrived outside the COVID Wrestling Center and ran into William Regal. Zoey Stark walked up to William Regal and Sarai and said that I would love the opportunity to wrestle Sarai here tonight in her debut match. Now, she was sure that Regal already had an opponent for her. If Regal already had an opponent for her, why was he so quick to make this match? Doesn't really make sense. It almost seems as if William Regal didn't have an opponent lined up for Sarai. And William Regal asked Sarai if she was interested. Sarai said yes, and the two women shook hands. Now, if WWE had big plans for Sarai, then Zoey Stark wouldn't have been out there. It's almost as if William Regal came off like a dummy here and had no plans for Sarai. But it is what it is. Zoey Stark has done very well. I don't really get why Zoey Stark is in every single situation with the women's division. It's like she's all over the place. You look over there you see Zoey Stark. You look over there, you see Zoey Stark. You see over there, you got Zoey Stark. You look behind me, you see Zoey Stark. She's everywhere. It's like she's omnipresent everywhere in the women's division. Why is there such a directive and an agenda to push Zoey Stark above everybody else on the women's division? I don't really get it. She's great. She doesn't really have a character. I don't know who she is. Why I should care. She's a very good wrestler. But what is it about Zoey Stark that I should really be looking at? Is there a character there? I don't see a character. Unless I need to open my eyes a little bit more. I don't know. You guys let me know. Zoey Stark and Sarai was booked for the show tonight. LA Knight. LA Knight. My boy LA Knight. There's Dexter Lumis. You know, I could see myself going out to drinks with LA Knight. He just seems like a cool, suave guy. Dexter Lumis, I'd hire him as a bodyguard, man. At least I know I wouldn't get any fucking attitude from him. I think Dexter Lumis is great. I really do. There are a couple of geeks online on my Twitter wall. Oh, Dexter Lumis, he's trash. Dexter Lumis is trash. Can you imagine hating Sarai and thinking Dexter Lumis is a good wrestler? I'm sorry. You don't think Dexter Lumis is a good wrestler, man? Open your fucking eyes. Put down the anime porn. Put the tissues down. Put the anime in general away. Stop catching Pokemon. Turn off Dragon Ball Z. And open your fucking eyes when Dexter Lumis wrestles. Dexter Lumis is a very good professional wrestler. As is LA Knight. As is LA Knight. Now, I don't want to say I don't get. I get where they're going with Dexter Lumis. They want to give him some life. I don't know if humanizing Dexter Lumis is the right thing, but they want to give him some character. LA Knight is full of charisma, man. You could pull LA Knight from NXT and put him on Monday Night Raw, and he'd fit like a glove. He'd probably end up being the best fucking thing about Monday Night Raw. And that's a low bar. I don't know if I'd necessarily fucking fit him on Monday Night Raw. Nobody deserves that punishment. But calm down, Shad. I'm not disrespecting Dragon Ball Z. It's the only fucking anime I know. My brothers watch it. But Dexter Lumis, man, I get what they're doing with Dexter Lumis. I'm not sure humanizing him is the right thing. It almost makes Dexter Lumis come off like a geek. He's now ruining himself because he's developing feelings for Indy Hartwell. That's fine. But Dexter Lumis shouldn't be looking weak. The one thing that I look at when I see this storyline is he looks weak. He looks like he's vulnerable, whereas everything that Dexter Lumis has done has been visceral, very strategic, well thought out, smart. And now all of a sudden he's kind of moving away from that because of Indy Hartwell. Now, granted, this could be Johnny Gargano's plan from the beginning to kind of weaken him and use Indy in this situation to kind of get one over because Johnny knows that at some point he's going to have to cross paths with Dexter Lumis. But when we have Dexter Lumis losing matches to LA Knight, I don't know where he falls in the list of priorities on NXT for that North American Championship. This was a fine match. There was nothing wrong with this match at all. It went about 10 minutes. LA Knight is a very good professional wrestler, as is Dexter Lumis. Lumis was making a comeback. He was being beaten down by Knight. Knight targeted the back by ramming Lumis into the ring apron late in the match. There was a couple of nice spots here where Lumis got his signature offense in. But the real focus of the match came towards the end. So Lumis made a comeback. Knight rammed Lumis into the ring apron. He then cut off Lumis. And they were fighting at ringside when Lumis noted that Indy Hartwell was standing behind the barricade, behind the fence. So Lumis and Hartwell, they looked at each other and like time froze. He put his hand on the glass and she put her hand on the glass and it was some romantic moment. They were looking into each other's eyes. LA Knight comes out of nowhere and hits Lumis with a sneak attack. Then Knight started to try and spit some game at Indy Hartwell. Why do you look at a loser like that and find him attractive when you got someone like LA Knight in the locker room? So LA Knight's the ladies' man here. Lumis jumped on LA Knight and he took him out with a flying double axe handle smash to the floor. Lumis was again distracted by Hartwell. Knight, when Lumis got in the ring, delivered a very sloppy neck breaker. It almost, I don't know if it was a neck breaker or a DDT. Whatever it was, it did not connect as it should have. It was very sloppy. And Knight covered Lumis for the 1, 2, 3. And that was it. That was it. LA Knight beats Dexter Lumis, a weakened Dexter Lumis. Hartwell and Lumis after the match were about to lock lips. They were about to kiss. Then the Way came out and they pulled Hartwell off the ring apron. Austin Theory carried Hartwell away as Candice LeRae and Johnny Gargano were yelling at everybody here. So that was the way the segment went off the air. Again, I get what they're trying to do with Dexter Lumis. It's just after the end of this match, it really makes Dexter Lumis look like a fucking dummy. It makes him look weak. Is Indy going to help Dexter Lumis get back at Johnny Gargano? Is Indy going to go away from the way because she'd rather be with Lumis? She's going to help Lumis win the title. I don't know. Lumis lost here. It seems as if this is his own fault. It almost seems as if LA Knight is further in line for a title shot over Dexter Lumis. I don't know where he falls in line now. A loss is a loss. A loss is a loss. Dexter Lumis really isn't doing himself many favors here by focusing on Indy Hartwell. And I don't know what I think about this storyline yet. At first glance, I didn't like it. After this week, I didn't like it. And I see a lot of people online, well, you would do the same thing if it was Indy Hartwell looking at you that way. It's fucking pro wrestling, man. Dexter Lumis could probably get any fucking woman on the roster he wants. He's a handsome guy. But to have a woman ruin your matches like that over and over again and make you weak over and over again when you should be focusing on getting the one thing that really matters most, and that is the North American title. It makes you look stupid. That's just my opinion. Maybe you guys think otherwise, but this is professional wrestling at the end of the day. It's a competitive sport. Championships and wins matter. And your love life should come second. Moving on with the next segment, Beth Phoenix. She sat down with Io Shirai. How many people came to me tonight and cried to me, well, Io Shirai is a Joshi. Do you know how stupid you sound? When I mentioned Sarai or Stevie Ray, whatever the fuck her name is, Io Shirai is a Joshi. No, she's not. She's not a Joshi anymore. Why? Because this is WWE. This is World Wrestling Entertainment. She's not a Joshi anymore. Neither is Asuka. Open your eyes, geeks. It doesn't work that way. Maybe before she came to the WWE, yes, you are correct. But not now. Not now. Not anymore. Beth Phoenix sat down with Io Shirai. I don't know where they were. It seemed like they were in some boardroom or a classroom of sorts. Phoenix talked about some of Shirai's more important NXT matches. And Sarai smiled as she watched these highlights. And she was very genuine in these spots. And then she sold the defeat to Raquel Gonzalez. She said Gonzalez was her toughest challenge. Oh, did you hear that, Charlotte? Huh? Io Shirai says Raquel Gonzalez was her toughest challenge. Not the android. Charlotte Flair. It's great to see. It's great to see. Charlotte Flair, by the way, who is not the greatest of all time. Just throwing that out there. Sold the defeat to Raquel Gonzalez, her toughest challenge. And when the time's right, she'll take her rematch. She started to talk about that match and when it might be happening. But Frankie Monet's dog, who we don't have a name on yet, very cute dog. I'm a very big animal guy. A very big cat guy, a very big dog guy. Frankie Monet's dog popped onto the table, and Monet barged herself into this interview and kind of stopped everything. She said if Sarai wants to take some time off because she's hurt and she defended that title for over 300 days, Monet could fill her shoes on the top of NXT's women's division. Sarai got pissed, was mumbling something in Japanese. Monet said she didn't understand. Then Sarai looked at the dog and said, I like cats, and then walked off. So it looks like we have Frankie Monet kind of getting under the skin of everybody. I don't know where her first match is going to come in because she did the same thing to Raquel Gonzalez last week. She kind of mentioned that she'll be in and around Raquel Gonzalez every single week. Now she barged into this interview with Beth Phoenix and Io Shirai, kind of said the same thing. If Io is hurt or she wants to take some time off, she'll take her spot in the NXT women's division. So we don't know where Frankie Monet, a.k.a. Taya Valkyrie, is going to come into play. Seems like she's throwing her name into the massive pot of NXT women right away. So we'll see what happens there. I wouldn't be too concerned about Io Shirai jobbing to Frankie Monet just yet. I think that would be ridiculous to book Frankie Monet and Io Shirai in the first match that she has on NXT, because you ain't doing anything good there for Io. It's pretty much solidifying Io loses, and you don't want to do that unless WWE is already priming her for the main roster and allowing her to be buried before they bury her even further on Monday Night Raw. Breezango versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. I think they're one of the best tag teams in the world, the Grizzled Young Veterans. Breezango, they were cosplaying here as the Queen's Guard. I had my head down on my phone and I heard the British Bulldogs theme music, or what sounded like the British Bulldogs theme music. I looked up and I expected to see Harry Smith, only to see Breezango dressed as the Queen's Guard. So this angered the Grizzled Young Veterans, and obviously James Drake and Zach Gibson made fun of them. This was a very good match for what it was. We got a commercial break. Zach Gibson poked Fandango in the eye. Drake was playing possum like he was... who played good possum? Bret Hart? Bret Hart played great possum. Played possum like Bret Hart. Drake was working over Fandango. The veterans began to work over Fandango until a hot tag allowed Prince Pretty, Tyler Breeze, to clean house. Then the Grizzled Young Vets cut off Breeze. He did not notice a blind tag. One of them. I don't know if it was Drake or Gibson, but they did not notice a blind tag, and Breeze was soon caught with a ticket to mayhem. Or Breeze didn't notice the blind tag, but he got caught with a ticket to mayhem. Looked devastating. 1, 2, 3. Gibson covered Breeze for the pinfall, and that was pretty much it. Grizzled Young Vets are going to be on their way to getting that match against MSK sooner rather than later. And that is something that I am very interested in, because the match that they had at the finals of the Dusty Classic and then that triple threat match at TakeOver was fantastic. So anything between those two teams, you got my money. Indy Hartwell had asked for time with Mackenzie Mitchell backstage. The way Johnny Gargano immediately broke it up. Bronson Reed showed up and asked, "What's wrong, Johnny? You don't like love?" He said Lumis would be a beautiful addition to the Gargano family. Austin Theory then got involved and said the only way that Reed would ever get another title shot at Johnny Gargano and the North American title is if he beats himself. Austin Theory. He said he talked to Regal about it. Reed said that was fine, and he left. And then Gargano was very angry at Austin Theory, telling Theory that Bronson Reed beat you clean last week, dummy. So he doesn't have much faith in Austin Theory getting the job done because Bronson Reed wants another shot. And Austin Theory pretty much fucked this up for Johnny Gargano. Because we all know Bronson Reed is going to beat Austin Theory. And I would not mind another rematch with Bronson Reed and Johnny Gargano. Their match at TakeOver on night 2 was great. Really good stuff. Stevie Ray. Stingray. Sarai. Joshi. One-on-one with Zoey Stark. Stark got her entrance. And then we got the Warrior of the Sun, Sarai, making her debut in NXT. Now, I get it. Liking Joshi wrestling and that part of the globe and what they do with the women, Joshis over there, it's a thing. It's a cult. I get it. But I got a question for everybody that is wondering why JD did not like Sarai or wasn't impressed with Sarai. on NXT tonight. What is it? What is it that she did tonight? Granted, it's her debut. Maybe she didn't want to reveal all her cards in this one match yet, but Zoey Stark is a very admirable opponent. Zoey Stark is no pushover. What is it that Sarai did in this match that differs from everything else that I've seen this year with Joshi's coming over from Japan and either working in NXT or AEW? What is the difference between a Sarai and Maki Ito? What is the difference between Sarai and Hikaru Shida? What's the difference between Sarai and Io Shirai? What's the difference between Asuka and Sarai? Now, Asuka and Io Shirai clearly are at the top of their game. They've been Americanized to fit the style of pro wrestling in the United States. They are no longer Joshi, okay? No matter how many times you want to tell me that they're Joshi, no, geek, they're not. They're not Joshi anymore. That was them in the past. This is not Joshi. This is America. This is WWE. Vince would never allow Joshi on the main roster. Just look at Kairi Sane and how far that got her. Io doesn't look like that. Asuka doesn't look like that. What was the difference between Sarai and everybody else that I saw? I'll tell you what. The answer is very simple. There is no difference. They're all the same. So why was her debut hyped up like it was? I can name you about fucking 6 wrestlers off the top of my head that I would take in an instant over Sarai. And that's just based off one match, one viewing that I seen tonight. I saw nothing that was indicative of this big hype or this debut. Looks like every other Joshi wrestler that I saw come through the States this year. So what is the big deal? What is the big deal? You do realize that you could all get excited about what you're watching. You could all get excited about Sarai on NXT. And I will be the first one to dash your hopes and your dreams about where Sarai ends up. Ladies and gentlemen, Sarai has already hit her ceiling in NXT. This is the extent of it. Unless she learns English, she ain't going anywhere. I don't even have faith in Io Shirai. Asuka has been booked into oblivion on the main roster. Oh, but she was the Raw Women's Champion all year. If you want to look back at Asuka's reign since Becky gifted her the championship, I'd love for you to tell me something outside of the feud with Sasha Banks that meant anything to Asuka and WWE television. The answer is nothing. The answer is nothing. She had a piss-poor WrestleMania match with Rhea Ripley, an even worse match with Rhea Ripley the following night. She's beaten Charlotte once, and that was by outside interference from Rhea Ripley last night on Raw. What exactly has Asuka done on the main roster that really is memorable? That's why I really don't have any faith in Io Shirai going to the main roster. And Sarai has already hit her ceiling on NXT. Now, I'm going to give it some time. I'm going to give it some time to marinate, but I haven't seen anything that I haven't seen Io Shirai do. I haven't seen anything from Sarai that Asuka hasn't done, or Hikaru Shida. So please spare me your fucking anime, porn, fucking infatuation with Japanese women looking like little schoolgirls. Go out and get yourself a fucking life. Get off my social media feed. Get off my Instagram. Get off my Twitter. And shut your fucking mouth when you're addressing me. That's what I got to say about that. Joshi wrestling sucks. Get off my balls. Now, granted, I did like Sarai's intensity. Even that, we see from Io, we see from Asuka, we see from Shida. Nothing new. But she was throwing some nice forearms, some nice shots, some legit shots, some shoot shots to Zoey Stark. And Zoey Stark was giving it right back. That's what I like to see. I like to see a woman get in the ring and wrestle. And they both brought it. This was a very good match. Not really all that, oh my God, man, I can't wait. This is going to be groundbreaking stuff. So, Sarai was pushed like a really big deal. They gave her Zoey Stark. Zoey Stark seems to be the test subject for all these women in the women's division on NXT. They traded strikes, and Sarai rocks Stark with a beautiful drop kick. This led to a near fall for Sarai. Beautiful fisherman buster from Sarai. Stark answered back with a big high kick. Suplex, a knee strike, goes for a 2 count. Stark missed a terrible looking 450. I don't know what she was going for. It was all discombobulated. They traded some near falls late on in the match. Sarai delivered a kick and a series of strikes before executing a back suplex. It looked like a Tazplex of sorts. Sarai then covered Stark for the 1, 2, 3. And that was pretty much it. Zoey Stark gave Sarai a decent competitive match in her debut. As soon as the match was over, Stark left the ring, and she was attacked by Toni Storm, who jumped the barricade, literally came out of nowhere. Sarai came to Stark's aid. Storm backed away, smiled, and looked down at the carnage that she caused here. So it looks like they are continuing Toni Storm's heel turn by attacking Zoey Stark, because if you guys remember on the NXT pre-show for TakeOver, Zoey Stark beat Toni Storm. I believe that was on night 1 of TakeOver. So they're continuing that, and that's what happened there. Mackenzie Mitchell talked with Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Kai did the heavy lifting here as Gonzalez was just standing there very stoic and holding the championship. So, about Io Shirai's rematch, Kai says she wants a rematch, and I want to study witchcraft and wizardry at Hogwarts. Clearly, Alexa Bliss does that because all we see from her is fireballs and magic and fucking falling fixtures from the Thunderdome. So, somebody's been studying something at Hogwarts. The more the merrier, I guess. So, we don't always get what we want. Kai was, I guess, subtly planting seeds for something here. Maybe she's developing some sort of jealousy here towards Gonzalez. Yeah, she had this snippy, snarky attitude. We don't always get what we want. Does Dakota Kai like being second fiddle, second best? Does she like being in the shadows of Raquel Gonzalez when everybody kind of knows that Dakota Kai should be just as high on the card as Raquel Gonzalez? Are they planting seeds for something there? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Gonzalez and Sarai, gonna happen. And Gonzalez said, if anybody in the women's division wants a piece of me, I'll take them out one by one until there is absolutely nobody left. Candice LeRae. She was with Indy Hartwell in the back. She wanted a tag team title opportunity against Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. And LeRae was walking. Indy went off somewhere. I guess she found Dexter Lumis somewhere. So she was walking in the back by herself when she met up with Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. And Candice said that they were a family. Shotzi and Ember were not. Ember told LeRae to look for Indy, and she did. And the baby faces here attacked her, and that was pretty much it. Later out, Candice threw a cup of water at Ember Moon. The baby faces beat up Candice LeRae. Indy Hartwell wasn't there at all to see what happened. I don't know. I don't really know. Shotzi and Ember, they didn't really come off likable here. They came off kind of heelish, in my honest opinion. Candice LeRae was the one who got beaten up here. And then Indy Hartwell, I mean, this love story, this feel-good story with Dexter Lumis, it's only going to make people gravitate more to Indy Hartwell wanting to get with Dexter Lumis. So Shotzi and Blackheart Shotzi and Ember, rather, aren't really coming off as baby faces or likable baby faces anyway. Again, I don't think the NXT women's tag team titles were a necessity. I don't really understand why they were even created. But I could sit here and talk about that for 2 hours. It would do me no good. We got them. We got to live with them. KUSHIDA. There was a big hype segment. There were some Twitter responses and tweets that NXT was showing on the screen. One of them actually being mine. Somebody on NXT's marketing team took my tweet about KUSHIDA and Santos Escobar and put it on the show this week. Now, I don't know why. I'm grateful. Should be like that more often. But somebody must have just got hired. Somebody must have just gotten a new job as an intern on NXT's social media team. And they picked this tweet, which was a big tweet. It had like 700 likes or something like that for the debut episode, talking about this match. So we're like, oh, look at this guy. He's got 700 likes on this tweet. We'll choose this one. So it must have been some new intern that just got hired, took my tweet, put it in a collage of tweets on NXT, so my tweet was seen on TV tonight. I'm surprised, man. I thought I was blacklisted. Or something along those lines. Maybe Triple H, maybe Paul, maybe Papa H knows what I'm talking about. I don't know. Maybe Road Dogg has a fucking problem. Maybe Road Dogg was watching, oh, JD. What is he doing with the tweet on NXT tonight? I don't know. Just found that to be kind of funny. WWE watching me? I doubt it. I mean, they fucking know what I'm doing, clearly. My social media retention and interactions every week is off the charts. Why wouldn't they be fucking knowing what I'm doing? They know. They know. KUSHIDA. Open challenge. Like we've never seen this before. Open challenge. Give me a break. Maybe try something new here. Trips. KUSHIDA versus Oney Lorcan. This was the open challenge. Very good match. Very good match. I'm going to reiterate what I said last week. Number one, KUSHIDA in this MMA look that he's got going on. It's all right. I like KUSHIDA in the jeans better, coming out as the time splitter. You know, I like that Back to the Future type shit. I don't know. I don't know, man. KUSHIDA looks like a jobber. He looks like a jobber dressed the way he is right now. Comes out barefoot now like an MMA fighter, like a bro. But, God, is he a great professional wrestler. He's awesome. The Cruiserweight Championship, I feel like, needs to be a floating championship, man. You got way too many guys on this roster alone, and I'm talking about Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, that are without an opportunity to do anything. I don't know why you don't have a KUSHIDA floating from Raw to SmackDown to NXT. I said this last week. Don't you think a Dominic Mysterio should get involved? A Humberto Carrillo getting involved. Humberto Carrillo getting involved. What about a Ricochet getting involved? What about a Finn Balor getting involved? A Buddy Murphy, an Ali getting involved. WWE has way too many talents that they're not using right now that should be getting an opportunity at an introductory title like that. It should be a floating championship. Now, I doubt that they do that. My words will fall on deaf ears. This is Vince McMahon and Bruce Pritchard we're talking about. They're a bunch of fucking hacks. So whatever I say here is merely fantasy only. With KUSHIDA, Santos Escobar was fantastic. I think Santos Escobar is a fucking breadwinner, man. He really is fucking great. Santos, he's got the look. He's got the skills on the mic. He's a great wrestler. Legado del Fantasma is a great gimmick. It's a great stable. What they stand for is great. How you don't make a storyline out of that with everybody else in the Cruiserweight division, I don't know. Especially the likes of Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio, right? Or the Lucha House Party. But Santos Escobar was great. KUSHIDA holding that championship is going to do well for the Cruiserweight title, man. A guy like KUSHIDA is going to hold that championship. And just by the way he is and how great he is and him winning matches, he's going to bring a level of prestige to that title that I don't think Santos Escobar really tapped into because they didn't really do much with Santos Escobar in the Cruiserweight Championship. They didn't have him defend that championship like they should have. So I honestly think Kushida is going to do that Cruiserweight Championship very, very well. This match was really good with Oney Lorcan. Oney Lorcan is a really great wrestler himself. And these are the types of matches that I want to see the Cruiserweight Championship kind of be a part of. Like the one last week with Escobar and Kushida. This week, Kushida and Oney Lorcan. Maybe we get somebody else involved, like Kushida and Swerve, Kushida Balor, right? Guys like that. This is only going to enhance the look and the feel and the presence and the prestige of that Cruiserweight Championship. So, this was really good stuff here. Kushida won the championship last week from Santos Escobar, and it was an open challenge. So, Kushida's out here today giving an open challenge. So, they grappled back and forth. Pro wrestling at its finest here. Kushida went for an armbar. Lorcan escaped. Kushida was clearly in control. We go to a quick commercial break. Lorcan was able to cut off Kushida. Kushida, after the break, began to come back, handspring. Lorcan hit him with a lariat. Kushida, moments later, came back with a palm strike. More strikes and kicks by Kushida. They traded strikes. Lorcan was chopping the shit out of Kushida. Sounded sick. Lorcan catches Kushida with a blockbuster. Kushida kicked out at 2. More chops from Lorcan. Kushida made a comeback. The chops were firing him up. Kushida locked in a hoverboard lock, and Oney Lorcan taps out. And Kushida retains the Cruiserweight Championship. After the match was over, Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma came out to attack. So clearly that is not done yet. And turned into a 3-on-1. Soon after, we got MSK showing up. They evened up the odds and made it a 3-on-3, and that's what we're going to be getting next week. So you got Legado del Fantasma, MSK, tag team title implications there. You got Santos Escobar and Kushida, Cruiserweight Championship implications there. Should be a really, really fun 6-man tag next week. I got news on MSK. Apparently, WWE doesn't want you to know what MSK stands for in NXT. They're the tag team champions. They haven't come out and said who they are or what the name stands for. No meaning behind this in NXT yet. Nobody really knows what MSK stands for. Now, I've been seeing must-see kids. That's the one overwhelming meaning to the abbreviations that I've seen. Must-see kids. Now, that hasn't been confirmed by any means, so the guesses are going to keep coming. Now, they were interviewed, and WWE has no idea what to do with the MSK meaning. Trey Miguel and Nash Carter, Wesley, they were all the rascals in Impact. Wesley and Nash Carter, they said that they know what MSK stands for. But nobody knows watching the show. WWE has no idea, and they aren't sure if they really want MSK to put that information out there just yet. They say, and I quote, MSK has a meaning. They don't know if they want to go with it or not. So what we are told is that we're going to call you MSK and see if the internet comes up with something better than what we have right now as far as the meaning is concerned. So WWE, MSK knows what MSK stands for. Wesley and Nash Carter know what MSK stands for. They can't put it out there yet. WWE knows what they know. But WWE, at the end of the day, they want the fans to do their job. I do WWE's job every single week, and I do it pretty damn fucking good. I'm burnt out like a motherfucker, but I know what the fuck I'm talking about, and I know what I'm doing when it comes to booking these shows, what's right, what's wrong, what's something that makes sense, and what doesn't make sense. So WWE pretty much wants you to do their job for them. Must-see kids. I think we'll go with that, even though it's probably not the right answer to this question. Mercedes Martinez. She was backstage. She did a segment. She asked Raquel Gonzalez if she was ducking her. No, honey. Raquel Gonzalez is not ducking you. She said Gonzalez was silent and Dakota Kai did all of the talking earlier in the evening. She said she'd do Gonzalez a solid, take Kai out, so nothing stood in the way of their match. I'll take it. Dakota Kai versus Mercedes Martinez. Sign me up. Sounds good to me. The Way. Here we're backstage again. Candice was walking on into frame here, selling her beatdown from Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. Indy Hartwell showed up, and she saw Candice all beaten up, gum in her hair, ripped shirt, just all beaten down. And Hartwell and everybody else left. Johnny says, get out of here, please. Get out of here. Give her 5 minutes. So Indy says, listen, we got a tag team title match against Shotzi and Ember from William Regal. So that's that. Another rematch from TakeOver for the tag team championships. Ever Rise. This is Matt Martell and Chase Parker versus Imperium, Marcel Bartel, and Fabian Eichner. My second favorite tag team in NXT, behind Grizzled Young Veterans. Maybe one of the best tag teams in the fucking world, if you ask me. This ended in 2 minutes. Pretty much a squash match here. We got the finish coming when they hit their Doomsday European uppercut type finisher. Imperium 1, 2, 3 over Ever Rise. Killian Dane came down the ramp. Parker rolled up Eichner, like I said, for a near fall. Drake Maverick tried to attack Alexander Wolf, and Dane held him back. Imperium wins with Dane out there. So they're pretty much selling the team of Dane and Maverick against Imperium, which is obviously going to be used as a way to get Imperium some wins because they're going to be right in contention for those tag team titles, and they should be, rightfully so. So we got Cameron Grimes and Kyle O'Reilly in the main event of the show. Now, apparently, we got Ted DiBiase's name brought up in a promo this evening when it comes to Cameron Grimes. I read this report earlier in the week, and I'm like, I don't know what to think about it. Ted DiBiase is going to be brought in to work with Cameron Grimes, and earlier in the show, he was bragging about a letter where he made a strong bid for a Jamorant NFT. But unfortunately, after time expired, a significantly higher offer was made by a Mr. Ted DiBiase. So Ted DiBiase's name was brought up tonight on NXT. Now, Ted DiBiase was brought into this Cameron Grimes storyline because Cameron Grimes tried to do the same thing that Ted DiBiase did with the basketball skit. If you guys remember back in the day, Ted DiBiase kicked the little basketball away from the kid, and he was laughing at it. Ted DiBiase also used to buy out a community pool and get everybody else out of the pool so he can use the pool to himself as Virgil was sitting there drinking a cocktail. This was great shit back in the day. Even the little kid that had the basketball kicked away from him after he was dribbling the ball. Fantastic stuff. I mean, that's the stuff legends are made out of, right? You don't get that type of heel anymore. So Cameron Grimes was doing this skit, and while making an appearance on Booker T's Hall of Fame podcast, Ted DiBiase stated that he was going to be traveling to the Performance Center in Florida to work with Grimes. He said it himself. This came up when Ted DiBiase was talking about today's wrestlers. Everything has changed. As a matter of fact, I'm supposed to go down to the developmental center soon. I think I'm going to do something with that new guy, the new money guy, Cameron Grimes or something. End quote. Sounded like DiBiase said, I'm going to have a little feud with him at the end of his sentence, but since Booker T was talking at the same time, it wasn't clear. Either way, DiBiase will be doing something with Grimes on television, as it was mentioned tonight on NXT. Should be fun stuff. It should be entertaining stuff, man. I'm looking forward to that. I really am. In the main event, Kyle O'Reilly defeated Cameron Grimes. Wasn't really all that special, to be quite honest with you. The one thing I was thinking about was WWE clearly doesn't care about ratings at all for Tuesday night. This doesn't seem like it is a big deal main event. Doesn't seem like a main event that's going to really grab people's interest at all on a Tuesday night. I figured they would put some big, heavy hitters in the main event to generate some interest by moving NXT from Wednesday to Tuesday. They didn't really do that. This match really meant nothing to me. Two great wrestlers, but I don't care. It was something that was made up on the spur of a moment in the open of the show. There was no importance to this match whatsoever. So, lots of chain wrestling here. O'Reilly was in control. Grimes hit a nice German suplex, and Grimes targeted the neck. Grimes was working over O'Reilly. O'Reilly eventually made the babyface comeback, traded strikes. O'Reilly went for a heel hook. Grimes reached the rope. Grimes fought back. O'Reilly locked in a submission hold. O'Reilly then delivered a punt kick. Grimes fought back. Spinning slam. Awesome stuff there by him. O'Reilly countered a German suplex with a leg lock. They traded more strikes back and forth, and Grimes got a near fall. O'Reilly fired up and made another last attempt at a babyface comeback. He nailed Grimes with axe and smash. O'Reilly delivered a brainbuster, and then he climbed the top turnbuckle, leapt off the top turnbuckle with a big flying knee drop, and then pinned Cameron Grimes for the 1, 2, 3. Very good wrestling match. There's just no reason to care about it at all. There really is no reason to care about it at all. John Cena and Karrion Kross. Man, Karrion Kross did make an appearance on the show tonight as O'Reilly was walking through the tunnel. We got Karrion Kross standing there very stoically, very demonic-like, with Scarlett standing next to him with the NXT Championship. I don't know who thinks Karrion Kross and Kyle O'Reilly is a good idea for Kyle O'Reilly. Kyle O'Reilly seems to be a dead man before anybody even thinks about a potential match with those two. Doesn't make sense. Karrion Kross is towering over Kyle O'Reilly, and Kyle O'Reilly had a 15-minute match with Cameron Grimes where they traded back and forth offense. How is that going to make me a believer in Kyle O'Reilly to go stand toe-to-toe with Karrion Kross? It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous logic. It's the same reason why I pitched Adam Cole losing the championship to Keith Lee if you wanted to do Kross beating anybody for the title. It's not a believable match. So why are we going back and potentially thinking Kyle O'Reilly's a good idea for Karrion Kross? I said the same fucking thing last summer, when Kross and Keith Lee was the major program on NXT television. It would have made Adam Cole look like a complete scrub. It's not believable at all. What is believable is Karrion Kross and John Cena. John Cena and Karrion Kross turned heads with a little social media exchange this past weekend. Kross is the new NXT champion. He beat Finn Balor at TakeOver Stand and Deliver. And apparently, Cena, people were talking about Cena needing a final exit on the highest notes. People are already retiring John Cena for whatever reason. I don't know why. Cena never faced an opponent like Kross before. I guess if you want to say that. Kross is, he's faced The Undertaker, but that really wasn't much of a match. But as far as Cena needing a potential last opponent, I think this is something that I could get behind. I think it would be a great match. I think the promo work would be fantastic. Karrion Kross acknowledged somebody on social media about Cena needing a final exit and a final opponent. He says, I would be honored, and I am very, very, in capital letters, very ready. So, John Cena, you don't think he's in tune with what's going on, man. John Cena knows. John Cena knows. John Cena seen Kross's tweet, and he shared an image of Kross on his Instagram. And then he posted a picture of him on Instagram, and then Kross posted a picture of John Cena holding both the WWE and World Heavyweight Championships around his neck. Now, this may be just some fun going back on social media, but if you guys remember the old rule of thumb by Vince McMahon, do not promote a match that I cannot promise to give to the WWE fans. Vince hates teasing a match with the likelihood of that match never happening at all. This was promoted on WWE.com. I'm not saying that the match is going to happen. I'm not saying that I would pick Karrion Kross of all people for John Cena's last opponent. But at this stage of the game, who do we have left for John Cena? Nobody in WWE right now, maybe one, and that one is Roman Reigns. I would love if Roman Reigns retires John Cena. That's my number one. Maybe Drew McIntyre. But John Cena needs to chase number 17. And I don't want to see him do that against Kross for the NXT title. How is that going to fall in line with the lineage of world championships that John Cena has won over his 20-year career? Nobody wants to see that for number 17. If you're talking about John Cena retiring from the sport, only one name comes to mind. Him chasing number 17, him putting his career on the line, and him losing to Roman Reigns. Now, if you want to share the wealth and give Cena to Karrion Kross, by all means, I'm not going to have a problem with that. It just can't be for number 17. But where the money is for John Cena at WrestleMania is chasing number 17. Whether you think it's predictable or not, that is the story. Now, I would love if Roman Reigns was fed. Feed him John Cena. Feed Roman Dwayne. And Roman Reigns, if he abolishes Cena, retires Dwayne. Can you imagine? Roman Reigns would be like God. Imagine somebody beating Roman after he retired two of the all-time greatest legends in the history of this sport. This is why I'm so adamant about Roman Reigns never losing the Universal Championship. Everybody's like, oh, let's give it to Big E. No. Big E? The fuck are you, stupid? Big E. Roman should never lose. Walter is 750-day champion in NXT UK. You mean to tell me that we can't do that with Roman Reigns? This is Roman Reigns we're talking about. John Cena deserves a high-quality opponent. Kross is a high-quality opponent. I think the back and forth there would be fantastic. I just don't think that's the number one go-to there. I think John Cena has more than one match left in him. I think it's kind of ridiculous that we're even talking about John Cena retiring. It may seem that way, but I think Roman is his number one choice. Or my number one choice for John Cena. I don't know what his number one choice is, but I think that is the top of the top for John Cena to go out on. Not Karrion Kross, not a Drew McIntyre, not a Bobby Lashley. There's nobody in WWE that even fits the bill outside of Roman Reigns. You know, the funny thing with John Cena is looked at as one of the most hated individuals in all of pro wrestling. But John Cena, you know, his value to the company is still being felt today. They haven't created anybody to fit his shoes since he's left. Roman Reigns is just now starting to do that. John Cena, I get why he was hated. John Cena is one of the reasons why I stopped watching, because it was almost as if it was Hulk Hogan all over again, and I was only becoming smarter to the WWE product. I didn't like that. The shoving of somebody down your throat. This is the guy, even though everybody knew he wasn't the people's choice. I hate that. I really do. But with John Cena gone, how invaluable is he? Have they created anybody like John Cena since he's left? No. Is John Cena still missed on WWE programming today? Yes. Did John Cena put over talent in his later career? Yes. Does John Cena bring importance to literally everything that he does? Yes. John Cena is missed. I don't give a fuck what you think. John Cena is still, to me, the face of the WWE until he calls it a day. Until he hangs up his boots and officially is in the Hall of Fame, retired, never to wrestle again. John Cena right now is still the face of WWE. John Cena is on WWE's Mount Rushmore. That's how big of a talent John Cena is. He's missed. He's undervalued. He's underappreciated by the majority of the fucking people out there who don't know jack shit. John Cena's great. I was just like you who hated John Cena, but you know what? I wisened up and realized that John Cena is only good for WWE business. Everything that John Cena was a part of, everything was up. Ticket sales, attendance, ratings, interest, demos, t-shirts. If you don't think John Cena is valuable to the WWE because of whatever fucking sick agenda you have, good thing you don't own a fucking business, man. Really. Hit the super chats, guys. I appreciate every single one of you hanging out tonight. Slow night tonight, but it is what it is, man. It's NXT. Make sure you guys follow me on social media at JD from NY206. That's Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell for all notifications. And make sure you guys go check out the Monday Night Raw podcast, the post show from last night that is on the channel right now. Go and check it out, man. And thank you to Dr. Squatch. Go get your Dr. Squatch today, folks. Support via Dr. Squatch. That's drsquatch.com. You guys are going to use code SCRIPT at checkout for 20% off. Henley Pierre with a $5 super chat. Who is better on the mic, Cena or Punk? And who is better, Cena or Batista? Well, the better wrestler is Cena over Batista. And who's better on the microphone? Cena or Punk, man, I'm going to go with a tie. I'm going to go with a tie. When Cena wants to be serious, there's nobody better. But Punk was always real. Everything Punk said was from the soul. They're both fantastic. Two of the best promos of all time. Those are two guys that you don't ever need to script. Punk and Cena. Lauren Hutton with a $5 super chat. I don't think Karrion Kross should retire John. I think that Randy Orton should be the one to retire John Cena in John Cena's final WrestleMania match. No, Lauren. Roman Reigns. Captain Solo, $5 super chat. JD, who do you hate the most out of these names? Goldberg, Charlotte Flair, Dana Brooke, Billy Kay, Lacey Evans, and Seth Rollins. Glad I found your channel. You rock. Goldberg. Probably a tie between Goldberg and Charlotte now that I think about it. Ali with a $4.99 super chat. Hey, JD, I was thinking, is Finn Balor heading back to Raw or SmackDown, or is he still staying in NXT to get his rematch against Karrion Kross? I think he's staying in NXT, man. There's nothing for Finn Balor on the main roster. Maybe a match against Roman, but that's about it. I could see Finn versus Drew McIntyre as well. But I don't want anybody going to Raw because Raw is where careers die. Cool Jags with a $4.99 super chat. Are we high? It's 420, baby. We are high, man. Well, you may be. I'm not. I don't smoke anything, bruh. But good for you and anybody else that wanted to celebrate with some extracurricular activities. Majin, $5 super chat. I wasn't feeling NXT tonight. Only thing was your tweet on Kushida being on NXT TV. It was pretty exciting, Majin. Nobody was feeling NXT tonight. We barely broke 1,100 people live tonight. How long these NXT reviews remain a thing, I don't know. Cool Jags with a $3.99 super chat, but seriously, no more Joshi's Triple H. This isn't AEW. Get the Joshis off my television, man. Jacob Donnelly with a $5 super chat. As a big Taya Valkyrie fan, this Frankie Monet gimmick is pure cringe and does not fit her at all. This is the brain trust of NXT, Jacob. I don't know. I don't like it. We haven't even seen her wrestle yet in NXT, and I don't like it already. Jaden Vlogs with a $1.99. No message. Don't be shy, bro. Remember to tip your bartender. Jesse just texted me. I have a feeling your NXT reviews are going away. To save my sanity on a Tuesday night, buddy, maybe. Maybe. If nobody watches, why the fuck do I gotta be here? Seriously, who wants the NXT review? Who? Half the time, I don't even want to fucking be here. Indigo with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, much respect. WWE needs to bring back Jim Johnston. Yes, they do. Jim Johnston, by the way, is being interviewed soon. Or he was interviewed, but it's going to be premiering on Chris Van Vliet's podcast. That's something I'm going to be interested in seeing, man. Zoey Stark is a good wrestler, but seems bland to me. Anyways, another fire live stream. Thank you, Indigo. Appreciate you, brother. Pony Soze with a $14.99 super chat. JD, the best podcast out there. Been listening since 2015. Bro, you should make a Charlotte t-shirt that has C3PO, Charlotte 3PO. It will sell. Keep up the great work. Much love from Queens. Thank you, Pony. It's a good idea. Maybe I should make a Charlotte 3PO shirt. Somebody get on that, man. Laura Conway with a $9.99 super chat. Hey, JD, great review so far. Just want to let you know how grateful I am that you give us the best reviews and the amount of hard work you put in doing so. You're the best. Thank you, Laura. Thank you. Diggity Dog with a Australian $5 super chat. Hey, JD, love your work. What is your favorite Nickelback album? The one that hasn't been recorded yet. Sarray's debut was hyped up because the pandemic delayed her arrival for a year, says Mr. Cake with a $5 super chat. I don't give a fuck what delayed it. I don't give a shit what delayed. Sarai, Stevie Ray, Ray Charles. I don't care. I don't care. Nothing that I saw impressed me at all. Lauren Hutton with a $2 super chat. When Io Shirai leaves, hope she gets called up to SmackDown. Now, why don't we just give everybody to SmackDown? She's going right to Raw. Why? Because Rhea Ripley's going to need some people to feud with. Asuka's going to need some people to feud with. Charlotte needs more people to feast on. And Becky's going to SmackDown. Can't have SmackDown have everybody. Becky, Bayley, Sasha, Bianca. Even Carmella's coming along. Then Raw would have Io, Asuka, Rhea, Android. It's not bad. Who else is there? Nia, Shayna. Ugh, what an awful division. Mr. Cake with a $5 super chat. JD is now canon to NXT. This validates everything you said about NXT on OTS. Papa H knows the real ones. No one does it like JD. Mr. Cake, I have no idea what that means. Is now canon to NXT? Listen, man, I've always been honest. If you don't appreciate my honesty, then I don't know. Why wouldn't I be honest? Half the shit I say for entertainment purposes, man, but everything that I say about the actual product, the storylines, the pro wrestlers, the real meat and potatoes of it, I mean, it's from my fucking soul. Paul Van Tassel with a $5 super chat. This might be a stretch with MSK. What if it stands for their names? They're waiting for their friend from Impact to complete their names. I don't know. Is that what it is? Wesley? Nash Carter? I don't know how that really stands for MSK. Wesley? There's no W or L in MSK. Same thing with Nash Carter. There's no N and there's no C. Oh, I'm part of the storyline? Is that what that means? Thanks, Jesse. What else do we got here, man? Chris with a $4.99 super chat. I gotta agree with you, brother. Cena vs. Reigns would be a money match. Just imagine Roman retiring both Cena and The Rock. Roman would be a wrestling god. Yes, he would. Yes, he would. Mr. Cake with a $2 super chat. JD, Prime Raw, Prime SmackDown, or Prime NXT? Prime NXT. Though that 2016 era SmackDown, man, that shit was fucking top notch. That shit is top notch, man. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. Roman is like God right now. No reason for him to lose that Universal title. When there is someone else along the way, then Roman can lose. Well, Roman may already be on his way to being a god. But like I said, Furious Nation, you're on the right track, man. When you build somebody up to be an equal to Roman Reigns, then Roman Reigns can be in discussion to lose the championship. Other than that, the man should have a reign like Walter. It is your job to book a reign for Reigns like Walter. You have the talent. Do so. You have more than enough talent on this brand right now to get through the rest of the year. Then you have a shakeup, and you can give him more new opponents. Issa. NYC Demon Diva. $3.99. Still sipping on some 1800. Cheers, friend. Bring some of it. You know, I got some whiskey right there. I got some Jameson Cold Brew and some blackened Metallica whiskey. Sucks. But I may actually pour myself a glass after this stream is over. Thank you, Issa. I appreciate you. Paul Jackson, 1988, with a $5 super chat. He retracts his message. Don't be shy, bro. Remember to tip your bartender. They're working for you this evening. Ali with a $3.99 super chat. Hey, JD, what's Edge's next move in WWE? Daniel Bryan. That's his next move. No, NXT was not better than the Attitude Era. Okay? I'm not talking about the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era is very subjective. Some people don't like the Attitude Era. Some people like the Ruthless Aggression Era. What exactly is Prime Raw? Prime Raw can mean anything. I don't don't take anything Raw because Raw sucks. Ty Sloan. JD, do you like bands like Mastodon and Lamb of God? No. Lamb of God is trendy. And Mastodon, not my cup of tea, man. Not my cup of tea. Kelly with a $5 super chat. It's Mortal Kombat week, and in the words of Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat, you suck. Hashtag Joshi Wrestling sucks. Get it off my TV. And Tokyo, preach it, JD. Joshi sucks. Don't at me. Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. Sarray can wrestle, but she has some work to do. Io Shirai, on the other hand, has outgrown the Joshi stuff and is over and beloved. Yes. Io Shirai is no longer a Joshi. Neither is Asuka. Pony Soze with a $9.99 super chat. By the way, bro, the Four Horsemen is the best Metallica hit. I agree, man. The Four Horsemen is my favorite Metallica song. No question. If I had to choose a number 2, it would be Master of Puppets. No, actually, no, I'm sorry, not Master, a Battery. I mean, maybe Master of Puppets is number 3, now that I think about it, but yes. The Four Horsemen is definitely my favorite Metallica song. Well, what is your favorite Megadeth song, though? 5 Magics for me. That's a tough one, man. I don't know. Man. That's a tough one. Pretty much anything off Rust in Peace. Like the first 6 tracks off Rust in Peace, man, really. Probably the opening track to Rust in Peace, I think. Probably my favorite Megadeth song. Paul Jackson with a $5 super chat. I feel bad for anyone in NXT who gets sentenced to the Factory of Sadness, known as Raw. Is that what we're calling it now? The Factory of Sadness? Furious Nation with a $5 super chat. Also, JD, congrats on making your NXT debut tonight, kinda. You are a beast and keep killing it, bro. Maybe it was a mistake, man. I don't know. Who are you calling Pinhead with a $4.99 super chat? Wouldn't be too sure about Lynch going to SmackDown just because with the baby, one stays home while the other is at work. Just a thought. Come on, bro. You don't think Becky Lynch is making enough money to find a babysitter or a nanny? Or for them to bring the baby to the arena? Why would they do that to Rollins? You know, by the way, Rollins unblocked me on Twitter. I don't know why. I don't know when this happened, but Seth Rollins unblocked me on Twitter. Issa says, what's your favorite Bad Bunny song? The one that hasn't been written yet. Why Seth Rollins unblocked me? I don't know, man, but I'm grateful. Listen, bro, I won't make fun of your suits. Just don't get into any trouble on social media. Blake Brown. Blake Brown in the chat. What a fucking loser, man. You're in my live stream at midnight, bro. You're in my live stream at midnight on a Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, bro. You are already ousting yourself as a virgin. Nothing else better to do, man. Oh, JD. JD's a pussy. Go jerk off to your Joshi fucking schoolgirls, man. Ty Sloan, $1.99. If you had to pick Ozzy Osbourne or Billy Idol, Ozzy Osbourne by a fucking country mile, man. And J. Ray with a $5 super chat. Hey, JD, CM Punk was quoted in a recent interview saying, if I go back to WWE, I'm just another guy doing not good television. Your thoughts? Why do you need my thoughts on that? CM Punk pretty much laid it out for you. He shows up on WWE TV. He's just another guy. $5 UK super chat by CCC. Joshi wrestling is awful. Triple H is just trying to cater to the anime weirdos in the fan base. None of them can speak English, too. They suck. Pretty much what I said, man. And then Mr. Cake, $5 super chat. I was happy to see your tweet front and center. Much love. Also, I saw Jesse napping at the venue. Don't worry, I'll wake his ass up. I guarantee you there's some geeks on social media. Oh, well, JD got mentioned. How fucking awful is that? I know. Can't ever be happy for someone's success. This is the IWC in a nutshell, folks. Anyway, I'm getting out of here, man. Coil Phoenix with a $5 super chat. Just coming on here and showing you love as always. Keep up the good work, my man. Thank you, Coil Phoenix. I appreciate you. I'll see you and everybody else on the Dynamite podcast tomorrow. Jesse and I will be going over Dynamite. Big show tonight, tomorrow night, as always. Guys, I'm about to get out of here, man. I'm taking my cold beverage. It was a 74-degree day in Queens. Unreal. The windows to the Mustang are down. I got my cold beverage. It's looking sharp. The stereo. That music needs to be on full blast, man. Give me those guitar emojis in the chat. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night with Jesse for the AEW Dynamite post show on Off the Script. I'll see you guys later.